So today we're gonna start a very important topic which is another component of the periodontium which is cementum. So let's start it. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So you have studied in your previous first year actually in the oral biology that cementum is actually a calcified avascular mesenchymal tissue which forms the outer covering of the anatomic root. So in this definition, they are telling you that calcified means it is mineralized, avascular means it does not have any blood supply, mesenchymal tissue means it consists of undifferentiated cells, and it forms the outer covering of the root, anatomic root. Okay, it has two main types. One is acellular, which forms primary, one is cellular, which forms secondary cementum. Both of them are the calcified intrafibrillar matrix and have collagen fibers. They have actually two sources of collagen fibers in cementum. One is Sharpie fibers, which is extrinsic source, which is actually embedded in the principal fibers of the periodontal ligament, and they form the which are actually formed by the fibroblast. These fibers that belong to the cementum matrix is intrinsic, and another component of collagen fibers are cementum matrix, which is intrinsic, that is actually produced by cementoblast. So Sharpie fibers is actually produced by a fibroblast, and cementum matrix is produced by cementoblast. Now, cementoblasts are basically non-collagenous component, means it does not consist of collagen, and it is intrafibrillar ground substance which consists of the proteoglycans, glycoproteins, and phosphoproteins. They have different type of ground substance. Proteoglycans is actually play a role in the regulation of cell to cell and cell matrix interaction. Okay, both during the normal development and during the regeneration of cementum, means they are saying actually that they actually perform these interactions both are duringly developed during normal regeneration of the cementum. In addition, when you study their immunohistochemical studies, so they show that the distribution of proteoglycans is closely related to the cementoblast and cementocytes. Okay, now the major portion of the organic matrix of cementum. Okay, so if we know that there is organic and unorganic component of cementum, so they are saying that organic matrix of cementum consists of type 1 and type 3 collagen. So type 1 consists of 90% and type 3 consists of 5% of the collagen. Sharpie fibers, which basically form the bulk of the cementum, are composed of type 1 collagen. You also remember in that in PDL ligament fibers there were type 1 collagen. Type 3 is actually basically type 3 collagen appears to coat the type 1 collagen of the Sharpie fibers. Very important point. Okay, now acellular cementum, which is actually primary cementum, form the first that covers the cervical third or half of the root. Okay, it does not contain cells, means it is acellular, and the cementum is formed before the tooth reaches in a occlusal plane, and its thickness ranges from 32 to 30 micrometer. Sharpie fibers is actually most important structure of acellular cementum because it has a huge role in supporting the tooth. Okay, Sharpie fibers, which is principal fibers, they have a huge role in supporting the cementum, which is very important. Most fibers are inserted approximately right angles into the root surface, means they are at perpendicular to the root surfaces and penetrate deep into a cementum, but also enter from severe different directions. The size, number, and the distribution increases with functions, means we have also studied that with the function. You have not said, but when there is actually a pressure on these fibers, so the number, the size, and distribution of these fibers increases actually. Sharpie fibers are also calcified with their minerals crystals oriented parallel to the fibers, as in dentine, means these fibers that means they are actually parallel to the fibers which is present in the cementum and bone, except in the 10 to 50 micrometer wide zone near the cementodentinal junction. where they are actually only partially calcified. So means they are saying that the Sharpie fibers are completely calcified when they are parallel to the cementum, but in cemento dentinal junction they are actually partially calcified. The peripheral portions of Sharpie fibers in actively mineralizing the cementum means when they are peripherally placed, so they are actively means doing mineralizing the cementum and tend to be more calcified than the interior regions. Okay. Then cementum also contain intrinsic collagen fibers that are calcified and irregularly arranged or parallel means in cementum they have also intrinsic collagen fibers that are calcified and they are irregularly arranged to the surface of it.